This video will be discussing the item matchup screen for MBS integration. So once you have converted your MBS file into an Excel file and you have gone into your Excel file and made all of the appropriate changes, the next step will be to convert that Excel file into a BOM. So the way that we do that is we are going to first open up Excel BOM import, and you can find that under Transaction, MBS Questware Integration, Excel BOM import. This is going to open up the Excel to BOM screen. The first box here is going to be order type. This needs to be BOM because we're going to be creating a BOM sales order from this file. The next thing you'll do is you'll enter in the sales order. So this is the original sales order that you used when you first converted the MBS file into Excel. Whatever line your building is on is the line that you're going to put here. Usually it will be 1-to-1. If there is a project, you can put in the project here. If you're not using assets, you will click this free form button. And then we are going to select our Excel file that we have recently created. So I'm going to click this button here, and I'm going to go in and search for my file. And you will want to, whenever you save the Excel file, you will want to name it the same as your sales order. In this case, it's not going to be, so it's going to notify us of that. But normally the sales order number will match the file. So I'm going to continue with this. When I filled everything out here, I'm going to hit process. And that is going to bring up our BOM item master matchup grid. So this is where you will be taking all of the items that have been put onto the Excel file from MBS, and you're going to match them up with an item in Adjutant. So you can see here there is a column for description, part, length, color. All of these come from the MBS file. So you're going to be using these to match up with an Adjutant item code and an Adjutant item description. And you can do this a couple of ways. You can use the item code, or you can use the description. You can use searches. So let's just take, for example, I have this description here from MBS, and I'm not quite sure what that is. I can put in a question mark or a contain search with using my percentage. Let's just do a question mark to start, and this will bring up all of my items in Adjutant. So you're going to use the same searching functionality that you would use anywhere else in Adjutant. So if I knew that this was some type of screw, I could type in %screw, and that would bring up all of my items with a description with the word screw in it. Now, once I find the item that matches up with this, I can double click it, and then you can see that top line will now be turned green. Once all of the items, once all of the lines in this grid are green, then you can go and you can save your matchup, and this will then create a bill of materials sales order. Now, as you can see, there are a lot of lines here. There's a chance that you are not going to be able to do all of these at once. If you do a bunch of these and you get them done, and then maybe you have to leave the office, or it's the end of the day and you want to start back up tomorrow, you can hit this green save button here, and that will save what you have done so far. The lines that you see that have many in them, what that means is that this has been matched up before, but it has multiple items that might match up with the MBS description. A lot of times MBS will give a description for an item, and so that could represent several different items in Adjutant. Now, if I click into here, into this menu, it's going to actually show me my most recent choices. I don't have to pick one of those. I can still use my search or type in a code there. But if I want, I can just pick from the two that are there. If I already know the code that I want, so let's say, just for example purposes, I know that the code for this is HDSC18. I can type that in, hit enter, and as you can see, that line turned green, and that one is now matched up.